Hello, Steve at 89. Well, I had a weird thing happen the other night. I was going to the parcel locker about 3:15 a.m. in the morning because I don't use my street address because people here in the building steal things, and also because the postmen don't do their job. Basically, if the item that they're delivering doesn't fit into the mailbox, they're supposed to go to your door and try and give it to you. And if that doesn't work, they're supposed to leave a card. They just put the card in, don't even try, and then you have to go to the post office, which of course is a problem now because no one wears masks. So I just use the parcel locker. They're 24 hours, so I can just go there in the middle of the night where I don't have to worry about bumping into anyone. So of course I go and I'm wearing my face mask and my face shield because, well, of course, because if someone just approaches me, I don't want to have to be rushing to put my mask on. That it's easy to just put it on, leave it on, don't worry about taking it on and off, on and off, on and off. So I'm walking. As I get down to the corner of my street, I see a couple of cars, just identical white cars, in a row go around the corner, and I've got a weird vibe, and I thought, what was that about? And I saw them driving around, because I walked all the way down to the parcel locker, and I'm there, and it's really weird, because I've gone the last 3 nights in a row, unfortunately, because I had things come in 3 days in a row, instead of just 3 things coming in one day, which make it easy, because it's a long walk. And I got my stuff and I'm walking back, and all of a sudden a black car stops, and some guy jumps out and runs towards me, and I'm like, what the hell? And he said, I'm a police officer. I'm like, okay. And he's like, where are you coming from? And I'm like, the parcel locker is in, and I said the wrong street name. I thought, oh crap. That's one of the streets I walked down to get there. And I thought, oh, I hope he doesn't know where the parcel lockers are, because he's going to think I just said the wrong place, like I'm lying, because of course I'm paranoid now because I'm talking to a police officer, and they're always paranoid, so they never know what they're going to think. And then he said, you have ID? And I didn't have the time to ask him, like, do you have a badge or something? Like, how do I know you're a police officer? And it was that point that I became sort of conscious of the fact that he's standing about a metre away from me, and he doesn't have a mask on, and he's also holding a coffee. He didn't look like a police officer. There were some little red and blue lights in the car, but it didn't look like a police lights. I sort of thought, is this person real, or are they impersonating an officer? There's something weird happening here. And I took my card out, took a few seconds, I gave it to him, and then he pretty much looked at it, said something to the other guy, which I didn't hear, and he just like, okay, and he just left, and I'm like, okay. And I was conscious of the last few seconds that he was standing that close to me. He wasn't wearing a mask. And it's really annoying that he saw I had a mask and a face shield on. So obviously I am concerned about my health and not catching you-know-what. So you would have thought he would have kept his distance. And I went to back off when I was getting the cards out, because that's when I became conscious of it. But I thought, I can't back off too much, because he's going to think I'm trying to get distance from him, like I'm going to run or something, like I know once I give him the card, he's going to see who he's looking for. So I felt really compromised and uncomfortable and a bit violated by the fact this policeman was in my space, didn't respect my space, didn't give me space, and I had to worry about his perception of what I was doing when I wanted to put some space in between me and him. And now I have to spend the next couple of days worrying about whether I got COVID from him, because he was standing like within a metre to me, breathing on me with no mask. So, and yes, I know everyone's pretending like that doesn't exist anymore and it's all gone and everything's back to normal, when it's really not. And it's funny because the government is trying to, gaslight the whole country. And it's working for the most part, except for the health industry, because obviously they have to deal with it. So they're struggling, they're on the verge of collapse, and they're protesting, like I said, and struggling, and they are not being fooled by this. And it's just funny that they're trying to gaslight everyone, and the only ones they can't gaslight, of course, are the healthcare professionals, and they are still, making people know this is a problem. And the fact that now they are, like, every time we have a spike, everyone freaks out, and then when it goes back down again, they take away all the restrictions. So then when we have another spike, or that causes a spike, and then when we had that spike, we're more vulnerable and it gets worse. And they don't learn. So it's just going to keep doing the same thing. So that was something I wanted to make a video on earlier, that they made, you don't have to wear masks on planes anymore, and you don't have to wear masks anywhere basically anymore, virtually anywhere, which means people who have health concerns really are not going to feel comfortable going anywhere because there's nowhere where you can go where you can be assured people will wear masks, and you're sort of putting yourself in the least amount of risk. So it's really frustrating, and I really wish people would not be gaslit, take this seriously, and respect people who do have health concerns, because there are people who are going to end up feeling like they can't leave their house because everyone is just out there pretending like this thing doesn't matter, and the risk of infection is just so much higher because no one's taking any precautions, there's no restrictions, there's nothing to protect them. I'm feeling that, and long term I think this is going to be an issue. So I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.